Hello and welcome to Burning Questions. No Jason Bonington for a couple of weeks, so you've got myself, Tim O'Connor, at least for this week. We'll see what happens next week because Skeet's off on holidays as well. So we're down to the bare essentials here. But it's great to be here it's fitting that I probably am on this week, I reckon, Skeet, because it's Ballarat, Bray Raceway, Metro Racing, my home track, just down the road. So I cannot wait. We'll start with the intros and we'll start with you, Skeet. Well done on your 8th successive best bet landing last weekend. I will give you a clip a bit later, but you are in a rich vein of form. How are you travelling?
Well, look, it was a nervous watch, Toc. I won't lie. I'm glad it's done and dusted and pressure's on this week, but good to keep it alive.
That's right. I will give you that clip later, though. The man, I was trying to think who I could compare you to, Mr. Andy Gath. I was trying to look in footy terms. I was thinking Chris Scott at the early start of his career. He had a heap of champions in his stable. He got the premiership, and then they started to slowly retire. McLovin's gone. Tornado Valley's gone. How are you going to rebuild this premiership stable at home?
Yeah, I might be the next one to go, hopefully. But, no, they're not easy to replace. You just got to start from scratch again, and hopefully they come along. You only get them by having them, so you never know where they come from, whether they come from New Zealand or from a young horse or just got some others said they go okay, but
We're losing you a little bit there, Andy. You are based at home at Long Forest, so hopefully we can get you right the way through the show. But great to have you on, and a special guest. I reckon it's your debut, Brent Lilley, Bolinda trainer. You've been one of our great trainers in harness racing for a long time. Fantastic to have you finally on the Burning Questions. No doubt you've been a long-time viewer, first time participating in the show.
Yeah, well, that's right. You must be scraping the barrel a bit getting me on because I've normally got a few mates that ring me on a Saturday for me tips so they can treat them as scratching. So, you must be scraping the barrel.
I thought you might have been broadcasting live from Paul Males's little poker room across the ditch there, Lils, because I did sneak over there. You weren't lying. It's an impressive little spot there.
Yeah, no, it's a good spot there. I normally, with Peter and Paul, have a beer there after work, but no, I'll be a bit late today, so I've got to do the Burning Questions.
All right, well, we won't keep you much longer. 4 big questions. Skeet's sorted these out, so we're going to start with you on the first one, Skeet. Can Bonsal Benjamin return to his first up ID winning form, or will Wildfire keep his streak alive? What do you think in the fast class race at Ballarat on Saturday night?
Yeah, look, it's great to have the Inter-Dominion reigning champ back, Bonsal Benjamin. He's obviously had his injury issues along the journey, so it's just great to have him back at the races. In saying that, I probably don't think I've seen enough from his trials to suggest that he can come out and win against a horse that's racing so well like a Wildfire first up. We know at this level it is extremely difficult when you've had a few issues and are first up. So, yeah, really keen on Like a Wildfire this week. I think he's just in terrific form and he's going to be awfully hard to beat.
Yeah, I think he's $1.20 with a tab. So maybe not a spoiler alert, Skeet, but that's about your price range for best bets. So we'll see if that ends up being your best. Only joking. Andy, what do you think? Bonsal Benjamin, can he go bang first up, or is it Like a Wildfire's race to win, or is there something else in the 7-horse field that you like?
No, I think Like a Wildfire be winning. His form's been really good. It's great to have the Inter-Dominion champ back, Bonsal Benjamin. But again, he's coming off an injury, and I think they'll be pretty cautious with him first up and probably won't set him alight at the start early and just sort of hopefully to get around and, build his preparation, with this run. So, again, I think it's Like a Wildfire's race to lose, and hopefully Tango Tara can snare second.
Yeah, I'm certainly with you. I think it's Like a Wildfire's race. What about you, Lils? The fast class event on the card. You haven't got a runner, but what do you think? Can Bonsal Benjamin cause a little bit of an upset, or will Like a Wildfire keep the winning form rolling?
Yeah, well, I think Like a Wildfire's, had that racing under his belt, and he's been flying. And like you said, I'm sure the other fellow will probably be looked after a bit first up, and trying to hold him together for bigger fish to fry at the end of the year. So, it's hard to go past Like a Wildfire this week.
Yeah, I'm certainly with you. I think Like a Wildfire will win. Not knocking the horse, but I just don't think he'll be able to sort of compete it right now. I just think Bonsal Benjamin might be one you could even leave out of your trifectas and first fours. I just think he'll probably struggle first up. So we'll see how that race pans out. Hip Pocket Workwear, of course, are our major sponsors. I was going to broadcast Skeet from across the road. We've got a Hip Pocket Workwear shop just over the road from me, so I might keep that one up my sleeve for next week when I'm running solo. We might start with you, Lils, on the next two questions, and we're going to go with American Legacy. How good is American Legacy, and can he overcome the second row draw on Saturday night and make it 4 wins in a row?
Yeah, well, I don't think the draw will be too much of an issue. He's the only one on the second row, so I'm sure Ents will be, straight off the fence. And he's a strong horse. So yeah, if they're running along, he can bide his time, or if they back off, he can probably, make a run and sit outside them. Yeah, look, he's a very nice progressive horse, but he's still got a long way to go to, to be thinking he's top shelf, but he's heading in the right direction to make a nice handy horse at this stage. But yeah, we're not getting too carried away.
You draw a line on him with anything at home that he works with, Lils? Like, is he, as you say, is he just going to be a nice horse, or do you think he's one that potentially could take the next step and be a really good horse?
Oh, he's still pretty untapped. We bought him off Paul Chalklin, who did a top job with him, but he's just a one-man band, and the horse had pretty much all his life just worked on his own and things like that. And he took the only time he'd see other horses was at the trials or the races. So he's a horse that, we were hoping he'd improve as he sort of, had a few starts under his belt. So, yeah, he certainly hasn't reached the heights yet I think he's going to get to. But yeah, hopefully, time will tell, but he's still got a wee way to go to show us that he's going to be top class, but he's heading in the right direction.
Andy, you're a master of New Zealand form. You would have known about this bloke before he came out. What have you made of his handful of starts, like 3 starts here, 3 wins in Australia? Have you been impressed? To me, he seems like a horse that responds a bit. I mean, his margins haven't been massive, but he responds a bit when a horse comes up alongside him. So there might be a bit more in the tank, I reckon.
Yeah, as you say, winning form's good form, and 2 of his 3 starts he's won from inside the second row, both been superb drives from Puffett to be able to get him off the fence and get him into a winning position. So no, there's no doubt he's going to, at this stage he's already quite a good horse and only going to get better with more racing. It's a tricky draw at Ballarat the second row, even though he's the lone back runner, but Nice Templar's going well, and there's another New Zealander in the race, Serge Blanco, which I have plenty of time for. I think he's quite a nice horse, so he's going to be pretty tough to beat too. But horses don't keep winning for the sake of it. They do it because they're good horses, and, he's probably going to be the one to beat again, I'd say, on Saturday night.
Well, Skeet, he's a beautiful looking horse, American Legacy. It's he's got the back row to contend with, a nice little field at Ballarat. Do you think he'll win, or are you happy to look around at a couple of rivals at maybe a better price?
Well, all he can do is win, and that's what he's done so far. And to me, he still looks like he's learning. The penny hasn't fully dropped. He sort of is having a good think about it too. So no doubt with more racing comes more improvement, and he's really trending in the right direction. Like everyone has said, I think he can be a really nice horse, and he looks really tough. I thought he was well and truly beaten last start, and he just fought on really well. So a really nice horse, but like Andy, the couple that Andy mentioned, Knights Templar, we know has ability. Serge Blanco was really impressive at Wagga first up, and I had a look at some of his New Zealand runs as well, and yeah, he looks like he's above average in ability. So no doubt if he's in front, he'll give them something to chase. And of course, Blitzen really good last time as well. So no doubt a massive step up, but I think American Legacy is heading in the right direction, and there's no reason why he can't get it done this week.
Yeah, that race you referenced, I think it was a Bendigo when he looked beaten, didn't he, out in front? And then I must admit, Lils, I think I had a field ticket in the quaddie, and I was hoping he was going to get rolled, but he fought back. So that shows to me he had a bit more in the tank, and yeah, I quite like him. So good luck with him on Saturday night. Right, we'll go the same order again. Lils, we'll start with you. This is the feature of the night, the Group 2 John Slack Memorial Trotters Cup. It's part of the Mary's Idol Trotting Championship Series. So it's basically Ballarat Trotting Clubs. It's their home cup. It's a big race. You've got 2 runners in Robbie Royale and Kai Valley Chief. So who leads the race, and will it impact the end result? Have you got any idea how this race is going to pan out?
Yeah, well, I think Kai Valley Chief can lead if we want him to. He just over-raced and got hitting the wheels in the cart last week, and yeah, we left the half hobbles off him last week. He'd been good and trolled good and was okay first up without them, but it probably wasn't the ideal track to try it on. So we'll put them back on this week. And look, Ince is a good aggressive driver. I'm sure he'll get him off the gate good. And he's a pre-rolling type. So I would say that we'll be looking for the top anyway.
And the next guest, the next man we'll go to might have something to say. But that Peaks Luck for you, Andy, drawing barrier 2, another of the front row horses that can show a bit of speed. Are you keen to lead, or what are you keen to do?
Yeah, she does lead the gate okay. She's probably a big step up in class for her to what she has been racing. And Zaram can hold his own at the gate too, so she has to be quick enough to get past him first too. So, but I'm following with Lils. I think if Kai Valley Chief wants to go forward, I think the lead will be there for him. I think most of the front line would probably give him the lead if he chose to go forward. So, again, it's a tricky little race. The back rows, filled with plenty of talent, with horses in really good form, and Interminion winner first up as well, coming back as well, and Mary Law. So, it's going to be a tricky little race. Obviously Nephew Sunoco is going well, and he's the one to beat, but tricky little draw. And it's going to be interesting what happens early. But I think Kai Valley Chief will end up finding the top. But who wins, I still don't know.
I did have a quick look at a market. I think Nephew Sunoco is about $2.50. What do you think of that price, Andy? You've mentioned about the troubles that you can run into from the inside of the back row at Ballarat. Is that about his right price, $2.50 for Nephew?
Yes, again, I think if he was drawn anywhere else, he'd probably be a lot shorter than that. So, Herbie's having a great run with the horse. He knows the horse so well, and the horse is in verified air at the moment. So it's definitely the one to beat.
This is a great race. This is a race that Mary Law, of course, the Inter-Dominion champion, won last year on his way to winning that Inter-Dominion. I think it was his first win for Emmett and Richard Brosnan too. It really started his rise for the stable and onto fame, I guess, in Sydney. Are you with Mary Law? Who leads? We've heard from the experts here. It's an intriguing race. How do you see it?
Yeah, look, I'm with everyone else. Well, initially, I think Brenlo Prince can probably get across, and then if they push the button with Kai Valley Chief, I think he'll be crossing. We saw him get across a lot of these horses last week, obviously, and Brenlo Prince was happy to take the sit behind. So I think that looks the most likely scenario again, but no doubt there'll be moves from the back with quality horses off the back row, Nephew of Sunoco and Mary Law, like you mentioned, Tox. So no, it's a terrific little race, no doubt made a little bit more interesting by Nephew of Sunoco drawing that sticky barrier, but also great to have Mary Law back as well. To have two reigning Inter-Dominion champions back on the same night, it's really exciting.
It is. It's a dream for someone like me trying to pump up the weekend's racing. It's worked out perfectly. So yeah, can't wait to see Mary Law back. It's a race, isn't it? I mean, it's perfect. You got Nephew of Sunoco, the favourite, flying, and he's drawn sticky, and there's not many in the field that you'd look at and go, if that won, you'd fall off your seat. I mean, well defines at 150 to 1. And I thought he's been going right too. So great race. Looking forward to it. And the fourth and final of our burning questions, again brought to us by Hip Pocket Workwear and Safety. I might start with you on this one, Andy, and it involves the very last race on the card, race 10. Does Treachery lead for fun, or will her opponents make her work for the win? She's flying. Can she do it again?
Oh, there's no doubt. She's come back so good this preparation, and she seems to be getting better each run. Racing against Mares Company, she doesn't have to lead to win. She could sit outside those and beat them, but probably no one wants to sit outside her either. So there'll probably be a little speed early and trying to all jostle to get the fence, behind her. But either way, I just think she'd be too good for him.
Feel for Alan McDonough. He's on hiding to nothing here, and he jumps on a horse that's absolutely flying. How do you see it, Lil? She's going super. Treachery. Do you think she'll lead again against this group, or do you think there's going to be a horse inside her that might try a different tactic and make her work for the victory?
Yeah, like Andy said, there could be a bit of speed early with a few trying to get the sit behind her, but I'm sure nothing would want to hold her out, and yeah, she looks too good the way she's racing.
Yeah. Skeet, Treachery wins, yeah, and leads?
Leads and wins, I think, Toc. Yeah, probably not one of my finest questions, but I just thought maybe someone might have an opinion that someone potentially might try and park her, but I honestly don't think they will, because who wants Treachery sitting outside them, dominating like she has been recently? So leads and wins for mine. I think she's just in absolutely super form. But agree, there's probably going to be a bit of hustle and bustle early, everyone trying to find their spots, because everyone's going to want to be on the pegs and following her.
Yeah, leads and wins, I think. Good luck to Alan McDonough, though. As I said, you jump on a horse that's strung together 4 straight wins in dominant style. The pressure will be on a little bit. The heart might be racing at the start. So good luck to connections there. I think she'll win the final event on the card. Righto, best bets time. Skeet, you kept it's quite remarkable, to be honest. 8 winners in a row with your best bets. Look, it's a bit of an asterisk there, isn't there, with Kusanova getting home at all of $1.10, but they win. It only just won, but it's, well, there's my clip anyway. What are you going to do? And I know you've been thinking long and hard about this because you don't want to go tipping us a real shorty. So which way are you leaning for 9 in a row best bets on Burning Questions?
I know it's been a bit of a tough one this week because obviously there's going to be shorties. I can't be tipping like a wildfire or treachery because, it's not worth it, the hassle that I get. So when in doubt, I'm sticking with Nossie. I'm going with Nephew of Sunoco this week. I just think he's just going so well. The draw does worry me ever so slightly, but I just think the way he's been going, he can still overcome it. He's so versatile. He's just on an upward trajectory. So sticking with Nephew of Sunoco and fingers crossed.
Yeah, you don't get away either, Andy, because there's an asterisk against you. You wanted to bounce back into winning form. You did. But Kusanova, I think Bond said if you get Kusanova, they all get Kusanova as their best because he looked a bit too good. But you would have had your heart in your mouth at about 50 to go.
I was happy for her to get beat. Kate was on the second one, but
true. Which way are you landing? One of yours this week, or are you going for someone else?
I'm going for race 1. I'm going for Stand By Me. I just think he's returned to the front row. Jordan leading on, and if he doesn't win, he won't be Stand By Me on Monday.
Well, that's a good push. This has really made things difficult for me later in this show. But Lils, you reckon your mates reckon your tips are scratchings? I've got a few mates that say the same about mine. Give us your best scratching of the night at Ballarat on Saturday night.
Well, Nikkita will be happy because I'll go Kai Valley Chief.
Head to head. I like this. I haven't seen a market ski. What price is he? If Lils can land one at double figures, I reckon he'd be quickly back on this show.
I'll let you know after you let us know what yours is, Toc, and I'll come to you with a price.
All right, that's a good one for Lils. Trying to make his name for himself on Burning Questions. I'm going to go head to head with you as well, Andy. So we've got double head to heads here. I'm going to go race 1. I'm going to ask you, Andy, what do you reckon I'm going to go? Race 1. I'm going against you though.
Number 1.
The Chancer. No. I'm going to go with number 9, Hayden Bromack for Ben Yole. I reckon it's going really well for him, hitting the line hard from well back in the field. I don't know what price we'll get. I would imagine an each way sort of quote. So I wanted to go Nephew of Sunoco, Skeet, but I just did not have the guts to bring down the ship of yours. So I think Nephew of Sunoco will win, but my best bet is Hayden Bromack in the first. What price for Kai Valley Chief?
$8.50, and I'll tell you what, if this would be absolute tears if I get upset by Kai Valley Chief, who is one of my absolute all-time favourite horses. That'd be absolute tears. I'd be sad but happy, but $8.50 for Kai Valley Chief.
Just looked at the market fluctuations. 31 into $8.50. Lils has opened the wallet, I reckon. You have a bet, Lils, or not?
I have been known to from time to time, but yeah, I don't drive a brand new Mercedes anyway.
Sounds good. Lovely to have you on, Lils. Really appreciate it. Enjoy that quiet ale across the footpath there at Bolinda. I'll have to get out there one day. I really enjoyed your insight. Good luck on Saturday night with all your runners, but particularly your best bet, Kai Valley Chief. I think we can bank on it pretty certainly that they'll be going forward. Andy, really appreciate it. I know you're flat stick, but thanks for taking the time. I know you're not in your regular spot, but it's worked well, so you can probably work forward from the home base going forward.
Hey, thanks, guys.
And Skeet, well done. Thanks again. Hopefully, I hit the mark with Jason Bonington's absence. You're away next week into Queensland. Make sure you do it on a winning note. 9 in a row. It'd be a fantastic effort.
Fingers crossed, and stellar job by you, Toc. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week on Burning Questions. Hopefully, we found your winner. And I'll be back next week on my own. I've got to find 3 guests. Andy's one of them. We'll get 2 more. We'll talk to you then.